welcome everybody to the Legacy Lounge. I'm Lady JB, the Pink Billionaire, and I'm here to talk to you today about legacy. That's right, we're talking about legacy and legends and building a legacy and creating a legacy. And this whole show is about, what does legacy mean to you? We bring on fabulous guests to talk about what does legacy mean, because everybody has a different feeling around legacy. They have a different idea around legacy, and they're thinking about legacy in their lives in a new and unique way. And we want to talk about that now. Why? Because legacy is important. We're thinking about the future, the world, the direction. Where are we headed? Where are we going? How are we going to come together? And what is going to be left behind? And that all has to do with legacy. Now, those people who are interested in creating a positive impact on the planet and really igniting humanity are thinking about legacy right now, and they're thinking about legacy in a way that helps others. And why are we doing this show? Well, we want you to start thinking about legacy in your life. You can build a legacy in your home, in your community, in your town, in your state, in your province, in your country. There is so many opportunities for you to build a legacy, because when you are no longer here, what will be left behind? What will be memories of you? What impact will you have made that will serve and support the lives of others? And so we're talking to fabulous legends about the way they created legacy and what legacy means to them. So I'm super excited. I'm going to get comfortable, and I want you to get comfortable too, because this is a great conversation for you to be a part of. Have you ever thought before in your life, what does legacy mean to me? Am I a legacy maker? What does it take to create a legacy? Well, we're going to break that all down and talk about it today with our very special guest. Well, let me introduce him right out of the gate. Michael Calhoun is the founder and CEO of Board of Advisors, the world's largest, greatest community for founders and entrepreneurs, CEOs, investors, marketeers, e-commerce moguls, business developers, and high-level decision makers. I actually added the word largest because I just felt so excited about it. It's not actually in the script, but I felt like it is really big. Now, Michael has over 27 years of consecutive entrepreneurial ownership experience and an endless Rolodex of compliments from individuals who have said to him, Michael, help me build my business. Help me create something exceptional. He is also the advisor, owner, and investor in multiple companies and brands within BA. He's established this global community of widely successful entrepreneurs to work together with a mindset of competitively contributing to each other by doing three things: solving problems, sharing strategies, and shortening the path. Now, I love the idea of competition, but the wonderful thing about collaboration and being congruent with competition is so fun. And that's really what builds community and really builds successful business. Michael, welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh, I feel so welcome. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you. You do such an amazing intro. You are a fabulous host. I think that if I could be on this show, whether it's on the stage with you or as an attendee, it's just a lucky experience every day.
Thank you so much. Well, I really love being here because I'm passionate about this topic. As a legacy mentor and someone who helps people create legacy, I think we all should be thinking about legacy. I have two 18-year-olds and a 23-year-old and a 15-year-old, and I even talk to them about their legacy in the sense of, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want people to say about you? What do you want to be known for? And I feel like even this conversation at a young age is very interesting. Now, one of the things we love to do on the Legacy Lounge is pull apart the idea of legacy, because everybody feels differently about it. Right out of the gate, what does legacy mean to you?
So I think legacy is actually a very interesting word, especially in the Western culture or the American Canadian culture. It's not really seen as what it truly is. If you look at the word legacy, it's actually forward facing and backwards facing simultaneously. Think of this, like when you look at a legacy program in programming, it is the prior or older versions, right? It is what was before. And then when you look at, say, legacy wealth planning, you're looking at what is to come. So it's a very interesting word. It's a term that has a lot of legs, if you will. I like to also kind of look at where most individuals start to begin to think of legacy. They start thinking, most individuals think, what am I going to do that has purpose, meaning, and creates value long term for my legacy? So if we just kind of, let's just choose the average scenario. You're turning 40. That's that weird number where you start thinking, did I do anything important, and am I doing anything important? Right? It's like a line in the sand. It's a crossroads, and you begin to start to value your time and what you're doing, and does it have purpose, and are you building a legacy? So it's that moment where you're looking both backwards and forwards simultaneously, and you start to carefully plot your actions and your vision for yourself. And then I think legacy begins to align with the word vision, because everything begins in a sense to start with an idea of what would be my best legacy. Where is my passion? What do I enjoy? And where could I be most authentically me, that resonates with others, and that potentially has such value someone else could pick up the torch, and if we just think, say, family members picking up the torch for the next generation and beginning to carry that on to second, third, fourth generation. Do you know what the term old money actually means?
Well, I've heard that term, but no, tell me what it actually means.
So old money means fourth generation.
Four.
Fourth generation.
Wow.
So when you think about legacy, like the creation and preservation and everything in between. So like I said, I love the fact that you've branded the platform as the Legacy Lounge, and legacy in general, because it really has a lot of depth, and I think that's what we're going to jump into today.
I so agree with you, because some people feel like legacy is like, I want to leave my name, on a big wall and, big brick letters. I want my name there. And I really want to break down that idea, because I feel what you said, legacy leaders, legacy makers are thinking about what can they do that aligns with their vision. And ultimately at 40 or 30 or 50 or 60, when people start thinking about building a legacy, they're actually using that as a new trajectory and a new rocket fuel to do something with purpose and meaning and vision. I know those three words are buzzwords. Can you break that down a little bit? I know you deal with that a lot with your clients. For people who are at home, the purpose, the mission, the vision, how does that all fit into legacy?
Well, I would say focus on the term buzzword. The better we eliminate buzzwords, the better off we're going to be. But if we look at, say, mission and vision, what you said, mission, vision, and what was the other?
Mission, vision, and purpose.
And purpose. So I wouldn't really classify those as buzzwords, though. Like, purpose is something that means we're doing something maybe bigger than us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're doing something that has a purpose for benefiting others. When you look at an Elon Musk, he is doing something that, in his view, obviously has a value that benefits humanity. And if we look at the mission is what enrolls individuals to join you. When you describe a mission, it's something that says, I'm going on this journey, and there's almost this unsaid invite. Do you agree, and do you want to be involved, and do you want to go with me? It's almost an enrollment like term, because as you share your mission, others begin to agree and raise their hand and say, I'm in that with you, right? Because who doesn't want to go on a mission?
Exactly. And a mission
Mission
is
trip.
measurable, right? That's a great thing about a mission, is it's really quite measurable. You can define the steps to say, this is where we're headed, this is where we're getting to.
Correct. Absolutely correct. And then when you look at the last word, the word vision, I think the word vision is what most intimately impacts most of the people on the call today, because a lot of times we're trying to figure that out and we're trying to define that to a point where we are happy with it and others feel inspired by it. So if we just, I'm going to use some chess pieces here. I keep them to the side for
Do it. I
visuals,
love it.
right?
Props
So we
for
have
sure.
two pawns. So we have two pawns, and you know what? We'll just grab the king and the queen too. How's that?
You just happen to
So
have those nearby.
yeah, right. Boom, it's there. Well, I have a lot of things here. I have a lot of props. I have the art of war, beyond order, becoming a king, driving sales. I actually have a 1619 dictionary just to make sure that we're using proper terms for everything.
Love it.
So, a king and a queen, their job obviously is not to compete, but to collaborate, but it's also to share the vision with their people. And as they begin to set that vision out there, the task becomes filling in the blanks, filling in the gap. How do we get there? And really, how we get there is all the right people. So most individuals, and I'm not saying everyone listening today, but I think everyone can identifying with the fact that we want to draw a vision that encapsulates many, inspires, and includes. This is what we can do together. Like if we all
Mhm.
work together, this is what is accomplishable. So casting the vision with a vivid illustration and inspiration, and then the invitation becomes the mission.
Mhm.
Are we going on this together? Are we going to do that together?
What a perfect example and rendition of that. And I like that you share that because many people, again, who are building legacy, want to include the masses. They want as many people to benefit. They want other people to be a part of it. They want to raise up, the what is the saying? The water that rises in the tank lifts all the boats, or it rises, everyone is raised. So I feel that that's a key component around building legacy, is that most legacy makers, most legends want as many people to be a part of their vision so that as many people are benefiting. Let's talk a little bit about your vision. You have a great vision. You are doing things to rise each other up. Would you share a little bit about how your desire to create legacy is actually impacting others?
So, my vision is something that is actually interesting, and I don't share it that often broadly. I think we many times share it more intimately. And I think we actually have that conversation with ourselves sometimes more than anyone else, right?
Hmm.
Our vision here at Board of Advisors, and my vision personally, is actually it runs along the basis of anything is possible, and everything starts with a great idea. All big things start small. We have a vision to inspire individuals to dream big and fulfill something that sets their family free, in the sense of financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom. You know, I think a lot of individuals love and adopt the fact of, obviously, go to school, get a great education, get a great job, build a career. I also think on the other side of that coin, there is a hungry audience that can take a prior education, a skill set, and a drive to build something that really reflects their inner genius, their inner vision, their something that actually has the ability to reflect their legacy once they are gone. And I
Hmm.
think that it starts with family, right? Family is that core where, as you become a better mother, as you become a better father, as you become a better leader with your family, you begin to earn the respect of your children, and your children, obviously, whether they want to go off and do their own thing or not, usually there's an aspect of them wanting to be continue the values, continue what you've installed in them. And every once in a while, when you're really lucky, they want to take that baton and carry that long term. I mean, real estate is such a great it's such a slow moving product in a sense, but it's a great product because it's something that you say, we acquire 100 properties, or we built a farm on 1,000 acres, and we have this responsibility to continue to pass this asset down. Real estate is something great that's tangibly visible in a legacy play. But I think now we also have a digital world with many digital assets that begin to really correlate to how do we integrate that into our legacy as well. So for us, I want a world, a platform, and an environment where I can take somebody right out of high school. I can take somebody on their worst day. I can take somebody, whether they've made 1,000 mistakes or not, but they're ready to start a new path with a great idea and a commitment and persistence. And they're saying, I will do the work regardless of how tired I get. I will do the work. I will, make the commitment, and I will commit to learn from others to a point where I can create something great. One of my advisors once said, the guy's name's John Groom, and he says, look, Mike, you're one of the most coachable individuals. Sometimes I almost hesitate mentioning an idea to you because I don't want you to get distracted because you carry through so well, right? So, that's something that when you have somebody that will respect the advisory and experience of others, but begin to formulate it into their vision and put their own twist on it and build something great. Everyone has been at a high school football or basketball game, right?
Right.
We've all seen the talent that's like, oh my gosh, this individual is just, they're a head above everybody else. If I could invest in their future, if I could give them the encouragement, if I could put the best shoes on them, the best, supplements or training or coaching, they are worth it. And I think our mission is to let anyone who can make the decision to be present, that they are worth it and they are valuable and they can actually do it, right? So I want the best for everybody. I want to create. I was on a call with a gentleman today, and I'll give you his first name. His first name is Kevin, and he wants to build a mastermind, right? And I said, look, the best thing you can do is join ours and just emulate something great, right? Join ours, emulate something great. And, we're definitely not in competition. I would love to take you from, 100 or 200K a year to 2 or 3 million a year very easily. You can do, he's the guy for it. He has the talent, he has the polish, he cares about people. He just needs to know. He goes, Mike, I feel the conviction and confidence in your voice. He goes, that's what I want. But that's very easy to acquire when you have the right reinforcement, right? So investing in what I call hometown boy or girl that makes good, the humble start to the big win, big finish, but layering it with a legacy sophistication so they don't lose it.
Well, you made a good point about being coachable, because I feel like all great legends and people who create legacy are consummate learners. They want to learn. They want to ask questions. They humble themselves to say, here's something I know, but here's something I don't know. And they're curious and interested and willing to be open to suggestions and ideas. I feel like the great leaders and the great masters that I've been around, they're so open to learning and listening to other people and other perspectives. And I feel like that's a real trait when it comes to building a legacy and becoming a legend, is you're very much a sponge. You want to take in as much information, but you also have the discerning ability to decide what works for you, what's going to help move the things for you. And you're not just a follower, but you're really disseminating the information so that you can move yourself forward and eventually be a good teacher. Because I think that's another quality of legends who want to build legacy. They eventually want to show, they want to be an example. You're definitely doing that. Who would you say has been a great example for you?
I think there's a lot of great examples. And I think the key is that many times great examples are also poor examples. So
I love this show. I love this show.
Well, my dad was a very great example by being a poor example, right? And his effort and work ethic was a good example, but everything else was not great. So I think understanding, and there's a world of, say, even political, um, even like, if you something that I think is very controversial is obviously the political world. But when you look at the individuals in that world, regardless of where they are, there is gold that is available to learn from by all of them. So when you
True.
look at something that could be highly controversial, highly emotional, and if you strip all of it out, there's so many things to learn from actually all of those players that did a certain thing right that you could be doing, right? So I think for me, great examples in life have been, um, well, you know what? Actually, I would like to compliment my members, because 8 years later, after leading a community where all I've done is try to attract or procure and nurture and enroll the absolute best founders of the best companies and the best brands all across America and US, or Canada, Australia, Japan, Germany. I mean, like, that was my mission.
Hmm.
But quite frankly, they were such an example back to me. I mean, in a sense, we made them better, but they also made us better, and all the way down to me, they made me better,
Hmm.
right? Because that iron in conversation with them on a daily basis. I have a guy, he's doing 190 million a year right now in one business when he has four businesses. One is currently doing 190 a year. He shows up at my office tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. in the studios. We're going to have a conversation, and there will be an aspect of that individual that makes me better, because
Absolutely.
I have to enter that conversation with yes, I am a platform and I'm a leader, and I am here to provide a connective tissue between him and other members, but I also have to be humble enough to know that I can learn from him. And if we do that over a period of time, I think everybody can be a great example. Everybody can make you better, whether they are a poor example or not, because sometimes the best example is what not to do.
It's a really good point. I mean, thank you for bringing that up, because a lot of times you're right. We give the succeeders, the achievers, the best of, we give them our attention and our accolades. But there are people who have struggled, or people who have done things and tripped and fell, but they also have been very great examples of ways that we can do things differently or improve. So that's a very, very good point. I think one of the things that makes you and many of our legends a common denominator is they do see the good in something. They do find the golden nugget, the wealth, the juicy, yummy, little thing that they can extract from it. And I think that's a very good point. That often other people that are just looking at why it's not working, or why I'm not lucky, or why I can't have it, they're not really realizing that there's so much to glean from each and everything. And I think that's a really good point that you made. Okay, any more juicy good points you want to make?
I have a million. Yeah, like, we could talk for absolutely ever. Actually, I think if there's a chat, I don't know if there's a chat on this, but if there's a
Well, we're
chat, I think
live and no chat on this what, but we will go into
everyone
our,
should
yeah.
give you a yay or a thumbs up for that jacket. Oh my gosh, love the
Exactly.
jacket.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, the great news is we've shared a lot right now in the lounge. We're going to jump over into our mastermind in a few minutes. There are some people who are watching, and I'm just going to wrap up with Mike, and then I'll share with you guys how you can be a part of our private backstage mastermind. But Mike, you and I both know there's somebody listening, just like I was when I was 9 years old and I was watching that amazing actress up on stage get her Oscar, and her speech changed my life. It made me realize that I could one day achieve something great like she did. And I would love for you to say something that you feel, that there's somebody who's listening that really needs to hear Mike's voice, Mike's advice, and the one thing that Mike knows that other people don't, that is just going to speak to the heart. Can we close with that? I know
I
it's a
actually
big
have something
ask.
for you. I actually have something for you. So
Good.
here's what I would encourage everybody to do. And especially the person that's in that most odd struggle right now.
I love this. More props, more exciting things.
So I want you to make a list of every single thing. Like I think a lot of people have all these things built up in their head. Well, I didn't have this, or this happened to me. You know, this person passed away. I lost my job. Whatever it is. So and so hurt me in such a way. I mean, I could sit here and describe a million horrible things that could happen in somebody's life, and I'm sure there's been those things in your life. There's been those things in my life. Here's what I want, and maybe there's only one person listening right now that this is even relevant to. But the way you become extremely powerful is, I would say, make a list of every single one of the things that are in the back of your mind that always creep up. Even the things that you think you did wrong, that you keep blaming yourself for, the things that happened to you that you had to go through, that you think make you weak. And I want you to make that list. There's two things, and this is a very simple task, but it's a very powerful task, because it's extremely demonstrative in the fact that it shows you what you've been through, even if it was your own failure or somebody else's failure, or a life circumstance that you've made it through. But the most powerful thing that you have is everything you've gone through. The most painful ones, move them to the top. And what I want you to do is I want you to stare at it, and I want you to think, I made it through that. And then on the other side of that list, I want you to think about all the things that you actually want to do. Many times people only dwell on what has happened to them, and they kind of get lost in that because it's an emotional entanglement. If you make a list, and let's not even talk third person, let's talk first person, because I would like to speak to the actual audience. If you make a list and you stare at it, what you actually begin to see is exactly how powerful and invincible you really are. And then when you pair that with what you want to do, you see in real time on one sheet of paper how invincible you have been and are, and how really tangible what you want to do is.
Amazing. Okay, I have to stop you there. Because
Yep, I told you we could talk forever.
I know, and it's so beautiful. So stay with that idea. We're going to jump over into our private mastermind. Everybody, let's put it up on the screen how you can get a hold of Mike and find out what he's up to. Go to the link that we share here. Ladies and gentlemen, we love having you at the Legacy Lounge. We are here every Thursday. Legends showing up. Today's show was fantastic. If you'd like to know more, go to legacylounge.live and you can get a backstage pass to next week's show with amazing Barbie Layton. All right, big hugs and kisses. We'll see you next week. And Mike, we'll see you over in the mastermind.
Absolutely.
Love it. Great job, everybody. Love having you here on Legacy Lounge. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week.